And welcome back to the GSL. I am Tasteless, and with me is Artosis. And we have seen a very, very exciting game thus far. One that I did not expect to quite end that way.
Well, I'm just surprised that he tried for a 14 hatch.
Yeah.
I hope that NesTea realizes that the game has swung around now, and you can't 14 hatch anymore. There's really two maps that it's reasonable to try on Chakuris and Scrap Station. Other than that, it's kind of suicidal. So hopefully we see him tighten up his play a little bit. No more 14 hatching. Maybe pool first.
We'll see. One thing to keep in mind though is that some of these players don't always do the same trick twice.
Yeah.
He may have discarded that strategy from his playbook, and maybe he can get away from a 14 hatchery, but certainly he's seen what can happen if a boxer does opt to do something like this.
That is like a 7th level thinking thing, so we'll have to see what they decide on that. The next map, it is Lost Temple, and there is more to worry about than bunker rushes on this map for NesTea.
No kidding.
You got to be careful.
This is a map where you got cliff drops, Thor drops, of course, very dangerous drops on the cliff. With tanks, for instance, you can, of course, just trick them into thinking you're going to drop and then rush the front, making for misplaced spine crawlers.
Yep.
So there's a lot of stuff that Zerg has to be ready for. However, with NesTea's playstyle, he does seem to be okay with just absorbing a bunch of blows and then consuming the map and winning.
Yeah, so we'll have to see, can he get back to his play style? Can he play his reactive game?
Yeah.
Not if he's bunker rushed, man, or marine SCV rushed. That is not what he wants to see.
No.
NesTea is a player that needs to get into an economy game. He's great at economy management, so we'll just have to see. I'm very excited, though. I'm glad that Foxer really showed people that it's like, sup. That's what happens if you go hatchery first. You just kill him.
He doesn't normally do builds that are quite like that.
Yeah.
Normally we've seen him go for the fast expanding builds. We've seen a lot of different stuff, but we have not seen anything quite as all-in-ish, and that's about as all-in-ish as you can get. I'm just going to keep throwing SCVs at you and using mules.
It's smart, though, because
he really
relies
smart.
upon the mule, and the mule gathers so many minerals that you can actually just use your SCVs as fighting units. And what you going to do, man? Your Micro and Marine's behind a line of SCVs. Best case scenario, you have as many drones as he has SCVs, then some additional Zerglings. And with the Micro Terran has, and then his economy's still in place because he's got those mules dropping down. As I said, Tasteless, it's a more powerful rush than what we even had before the patch. People are actually having to think now. They're like, oh, I can't abuse the barracks before a supply depot. Well, if I have the supply depot, I'm actually going to have a better economy and actually hit you even harder, and it's going to be even harder for you to stay alive during
That's very true. What's funny about this is that Blizzard actually reduced the hit points of the SCV in the beta because there was a rush that they were doing against Protoss Terrans where SCV Marine rushes where the Protoss just couldn't stop it. So Blizzard took that out, and a lot of people were saying, oh, but now we won't see Marine SCV rushes anymore. Well, apparently not.
That'll never be the case,
Apparently that will not be
Those
the case.
things could have one hit point, and I think people would still be rushing with them. It's just the way it is, especially when you have that mule out there. It's just another body on the battlefield.
The mule is such an interesting unit. The way it can operate and enhance the economy, it's really quite awesome.
Well, it is quite awesome.
We're going to get this going in just a little bit here. Terran, of course, does have so many options on this map. I would not say it's an imbalanced map, but it's certainly a map where you got to be very careful as Zerg early on. That's the burden of the race.
You do. If Terran really wants to clip you and kill your hatchery, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's that simple. You can really prevent it a lot, but
this game's getting going. Let's get ready. Over here in the red, at the left corner, we have the one, the only, naming himself after Slayer's Boxer himself. He is... Down here, also at the bottom left, but more towards the center bottom, formerly named Zergbong.
Now, these spots are going to be pretty decent for NesTea. I'm surprised he's actually scouting in a counterintuitive way with the Overlord.
This is unorthodox style right here.
Yeah. Normally you see him scout that close main base
first. Normally see him go up this way.
But he may be, pulling a quick one on Foxer because Terrans normally scout for that Overlord coming in to scout them.
Yeah,
so
they'll send an SCV right down here and check for that. so that may mess up Terran's scouting patterns, making it much difficult to spot something like a fast hatchery or a very early spawning pool.
And at the same time, NesTea in this position, it's going to be harder for Foxer to actually fly a dropship over and drop on his cliff. Not impossible by any means, but it's the longest route that you can really have. You can't fly it over his main base. Queens can catch it and stuff like that. But it's good spots for NesTea.
Now we see a refinery here. This is interesting because it does mean we're obviously not going to see anything like we saw in the previous game.
Yeah, and this is also interesting because the refinery, of course, gets you gas. Marines don't cost gas. We're watching Foxer. Maybe he's adding some clever stuff to his play.
Now, let's take a look here. The Overlord's moving up. Remember, Overlord's sight slightly more than the Terran structures. If he spots it, he may turn around, and he does. He did not see it. I do not believe he saw that.
Yeah, I don't think so. But he is getting that second gas, so this could mean a lot of things. Could mean Banshees, could mean a tank drop, could mean a Thor drop. I would like to point out that I really like what NesTea did there with that Overlord, the second one going in. That's kind of a metagamey type thing. His opponent not really ready for something like that. He's not going to know exactly where he is, and as you see, the SCV actually scouting the wrong locations because of it.
So right now, NesTea, certainly with an edge. He's going to use his drone to try to get inside. I do believe this is a tight wall, and this Marine will not allow that, but he will, however, see the factory. And that should be enough intel for the Zerg to know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, that's right. And, again, he did go hatchery first, NesTea did. So we're going to have to see. He's getting double queens. And that's going to allow him to spread a lot of creep if he wants, make a lot of units and or drones if he likes. But now that he's seen the factory, will he go Roach? Will he go Speed Zergling? We're going to see in just a moment here.
He may end up sacrificing this Overlord here to gain some more intel. Because even though he knows that Terran's teching, he doesn't know what the Terran's teching to, and it looks like it could be a Thor drop.
Yeah, it looks like it's definitely going to be that. And the starport going down as well. So he's going to want to just get that tech lab on the factory. Now, with the factory at the choke, he's going to be able to scout that it is a tech lab. And that's going to tell him, okay, there is going to be some sort of drop or Blue Hellions. Probably not Blue Hellions, though. It is Lost Temple.
He did not manage to get up there, though, so he does not see this add-on thus far. But here comes the Overlord we talked about.
That's right. He's going to sneak in here and
let's see what he spots.
The thing is, the armory is in such an obvious location that Overlord's going to be able to see it right away. And as soon as he sees armory, he's going to know the entire game plan of Foxer. There he goes.
And if he sees this,
sees a starport, he sees everything he needs to see. That was a beautiful Overlord scout right there. A great sacrifice for the Swarm.
For the Swarm, indeed. Kerrigan definitely has the hots for this guy. He is doing everything right so far. This is very different from what we saw in our previous game. And note, we have seen, it's funny because with NesTea, he was so bad about using creep tumors in Season 1.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a guy who both Artosis and myself criticized quite harshly. Now we see him doing quite the opposite. He's laying creep tumors. He's going to have a lot of creep on the map. And this is interesting. I believe this is going to be used as part of the drop.
Yeah, I believe he's going to just lift those up and bring them to the high ground. Now, if the Zerglings did not see them, that is a really good thing for him. At the same time, we do have, look at that, the dropship going with a Thor and a Spire making for our Zerg player.
So now, what our Zerg guy has to do is buy time at this point in time.
Yeah, he needs to buy some time, hopefully with some spine crawlers, but the thing is, the SCVs are going to be able to repair that Thor quite a bit, and Mutas are not going to be able to take it down easily at all.
Here comes the Thor now. Medevac taking some hits. It will manage to get over there, though.
It's going to pick up those SCVs as well. Chasing away Overlords, it's important. Therefore, there won't be any sighting up onto the high ground.
Note the spine crawler in range here, and it's not going to finish in time.
Yeah. Oh, this is looking rough for NesTea already. That Thor is going to do a lot of damage over here to this expansion.
He'll have control over these 3 mineral patches. That might not seem like a lot, but it's actually it's quite a bit.
Yeah, it is. And at the same time, it looks like we have going here from Foxer's base into the main, probably to snipe the Queen. It is another Thor, but he sees those speedlings, decides that is a little bit risky.
Yeah, NesTea's doing a good job over here. He doesn't want to let the Thor get on the ground. He can just surround it.
And there he goes. He's going after that Queen. He wants to kill that Queen, and he takes her out.
He takes out the Queen. Things are already not looking good for NesTea. Meanwhile, another drop over here. 10 kills, make it 11. Oh my God, is he going to lose this game as quickly as he lost the other one? I think it's actually very possible.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy here, man. This is a hard map for Zerg, as we were saying. These Thor drops are just so good on this map. And those SCVs, they are worth their weight in gold right now, just repairing away. NesTea is going to have to come up with something pretty clever. I think he's going to probably counterattack with his mutas as they pop out. He knows he can't take out on the cliff, but when he gets over there and sees what's over there, man, I think NesTea is going to just lose his rhythm. This is really scary. There's a lot of defense. He's not going to be able to do anything.
He's being stopped at every turn. There's basically no way for the Zerg to deal with this, and everything he invested in was the Mutalisks.
Another drop here. Just bringing the SCVs down now to help repair those Thors. 22 kills and 9 kills. Absolutely
wild. My God. I think that's drones, queens, you name it. Those Thors have killed it. The hatchery going down. Half health, make it a fourth. Queen comes out. I don't think it's going to buy enough time. He has to do something. If he loses the hatchery, I do believe he will lose this game, and he's taking the hatchery out.
And this is not looking good at all for our Zerg player, NesTea. Such a great player, but, I mean, Foxer right now, man, he has got the builds.
He's got the builds indeed, Artosis, and he is using them very well. His execution is perfect. The Thor drop quite similar to the Reaver drop in Starcraft 1, a little bit different mechanics behind it, but very similar nonetheless. And of course, we do know that back when our Terran player, Boxer, he was a Protoss player back then, and he was quite good with Reaver drops at that point in time as well. Hold that thought, though.
He wants to take out these Thors so badly. He does have his circlings down there. He uses that magic box. The Mutas take much less splash that way. Removes those 2 Thors with minimal losses. Now he's going to get 2 medevacs as well. And NesTea, I mean, that is the first step to a comeback right there.
You can see he was actually going to drop again over here and did not manage to do that. Now, I know there might be noobs watching this, Artosis. Please explain, what is a magic box?
You know, those Thors, they do a lot of splash damage to tightly packed air units. But when you have the Mutalisks spread out just a certain amount and you click very far away from them, they stay in a boxed formation where they don't clump up. And that allows them to take out units like Thors.
Now here we see a command center over here. By the way, NesTea, I totally agree with this. He's just going to throw up a second expansion. This isn't safe, but it's the only thing he can do to come back. He's taking a risk. He's going to hope that he can use the Mutalisks to control the map and control any scouting units. And if he gets his expansion up, maybe he can turn this around. He needs to stop these SCVs from building.
He's got to do something here. Going after that missile turret, and that's a smart turret to take out. Even if he takes a lot of damage from Mutas, he's got to get in here and start doing some damage. And taking out turrets is one of the ways to do that. Thor's coming back, though. He's going to want to run immediately. He takes 3 volleys. That's going to be huge. But he runs out of there. All right. Yeah, and you know, I want to comment on what you said, Tasis, as you were saying, taking that double expansion, he's got to do something huge to come back, and we see that already. He's going to go ahead and switch techs back at home. Notice the Baneling Nest, notice the Roach where he's going to go.
This is a total tech switch.
Yeah, he's going to transition from Muta into Baneling Roach. So that's his plan. Use the Banelings to kill all the infantry units, use the Roaches to kill the Thors, and hopefully he can come back with that.
We see more Mutas moving out. The Thors, however, and the Marines, he's got a small force out here, as you can see. He does not know about this expansion yet. My bet is he's going to push out. Note NesTea does have a lot of creep over here. Zerg units do move very fast on the creep, so you got to be careful. Yeah. Baneling's on the way, but if he gets here before the Banelings can finish.
He needs those Banelings out. He needs to hit the Marines with the Banelings, and then the Thors can be killed. But Thors with the Marine backup are so scary against a Mutalisk-based army. We're going to have to see. This is going to come down to Micro.
Micro is what it's going to be. That's the name of the game. Unit control here. He's moving in. Banelings actually not being very effective here, but it looks like they're starting. If he gets these Banelings and he gets these Marines.
Oh, look at that. The Roach is taking out the Thors, and down go the Marines. NesTea showing that he is, in fact, the best Zerg in the world. Beautiful play right there with minimal units, minimal time to prepare, taking out yet another army of Foxer. I have chills all over my body, Tasteless. Goosebumps, hair sticking up on the back of my neck. We are watching history right now. NesTea, man, this guy is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's bouncing back quite quickly, taking out the SCVs, making the barracks. That's going to stifle the economy explosion here, and he's even trying to chase away this medevac.
Yeah. Look at that supply, by the way. NesTea 102, 92 of Foxer. Yeah, that's right.
He's actually outproducing him.
Fruit dealer who?
Fruit
Deals
dealer
what? Please, please. It's all about NesTea.
Of course, with Boxer taking out, somebody like that, he's essentially the fruit stealer now.
Oh.
And now, of course, NesTea really just giving it to him. I actually thought we were going to see GG shortly after the hatchery was killed, but NesTea is not giving up.
Well, the thing is, NesTea's decision-making is unparalleled. I've never seen anything like it in StarCraft 2 yet, and it's just beautiful, man. He's playing exactly how he should, taking the right risks, making the right unit switches, and we're going to have to see. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to win, but it's really quite impressive to see a player of this caliber going at it.
Yeah, talk about bouncing back from a serious beating. He was basically rocked. Now, one thing about Boxer is that he's known for being very aggressive, and it looks like he's actually planning on moving on again. If NesTea wipes out this attack, then we're going to see this game completely go the opposite direction, and it's going to be Boxer who's behind.
That's right, and as you see, we have the Baneling speed almost done, and that's going to be huge because this is mostly a Marine army.
He also knows about the hidden expansion. Please go ahead, Artosa, sorry.
Well, you see he's on the creep now, he's moving forward. Baneling speed has finished, and this army is more than enough to take out what Foxer has here. We're going to have to see. He is backing up, though. Here come the Marauders. And the Banelings, unfortunately, hitting the Thor for the most part. And it looks like Foxer may be able to, in fact, hold this off. NesTea, big blunder right there, hitting that Thor with so many Banelings.
And now you can see he's actually has his hatchery rally pointed there. Now he's going to have to hold off this attack. I think you're totally right about him making a mistake of using the Banelings on the Thor. He should have used them elsewhere. Now taking out Marines. Zerg is not going to be supply blocked, but Zerg has to hold off this attack.
Oh God, he's got a micro better than that. A lot of roaches not getting their shots. He's got to run up, and there he goes. Makes him lift off. More roaches coming in as well. Good moves by NesTea, but a big mistake in his micromanagement there.
He's going to regroup. He's going to go in for a second strike in the same location. These drones have to be transferred very quickly, and they will barely get out of there before this battle attacks.
And here he goes. Still a lot of roaches in the back row, not getting their shots in. That is huge for Boxer. He can do so much more damage than he was, but there are so many Marauders here. I do not know if NesTea can hold this off any longer.
Boxer's control is just too good. Drone's not coming in. He's going to try to do a surround. He has to win this battle. I think he actually will manage to do it, believe it or not. However, there's more units on the way up here.
Now look at this. The drones getting their hits in now. And a lot of units just coming in from all over the place. Some mutas being switched back in because there are so many Marauders out there. Realizes that he's a little bit short of Marines, but here come the roaches, cleaning up all that is left. And NesTea looks like he's going to hold off yet another attack, but this one went way in Foxer's favor.
He did take quite a beating back there. I'm surprised he actually managed to stay alive during that. This is one of these games where it just keeps seesawing back and forth. They keep thinking one player's dead. But I'm wrong.
That's right.
He needs to eat out this the destructible rocks over here and take this expansion.
Right now, Foxer about 20 supply ahead, and it looks like he's going for a pretty big drop. He wants to take out that third base of NesTea, and if he does, of course, that is going to spell out G&G, which spells good game, Tasteless.
Double G. Here comes the drop. He does have spine crawlers ready, but there's not creep that leads a little road towards this location.
Really wants to kill that geyser. And it looks like he's going after this hatchery now. A lot of Marauders in there. No way that he's going to be able to save this. Goes down quite easily. Boxer now in an undisputable lead.
No, undisputable.
Yeah, and it looks like even though he might lose this army, I mean, NesTea cannot be happy with the place the game is in right now.
I have to say I'm a bit shocked he didn't actually pick up and then just relocate his army over here. But, you know.
Trying to get some dropship kills here. He's got to kill as much as he possibly can, which unfortunately is not going to be very much. And I mean, at this point, Foxer's about 40 ahead in supply. Not a huge army right now for NesTea.
You know, what Boxer's been doing a great job of is stopping the creep from spreading too far. And that's really messing with the Zerg's mobility. Zerg had no creep going towards his expansion. He couldn't get over there in time.
It's quite true. You know, killing the economy so quickly of NesTea, he wasn't able to get extra queens out, wasn't able to throw down. And look at this. It looks like another attack here, but this one is definitely not going to go well. Marines in the back going to clean up those mutas very easily. The roaches in the front died to the Marauders instantly, and the Banelings can't even get away. Two of them making it out there. and I think we're going to be seeing a GG pretty quickly here from NesTea. He just does not have the forces required to take out Foxer's Marine Marauder.
Well, the majority of this game has been NesTea getting knocked around the map and then barely coming back and then taking another blow. NesTea going to try to force a stim here. That's where you basically make them stim and then you run away.
Oops.
That, of course, does that, but he did lose some mutas there, so not too effective.
Not quite true. But he does have that third base back up. Unfortunately, Foxer taking the gold.
He sees it. He's going to engage. He's going to go for the kill.
Yeah, I'm not sure this is something that NesTea's going to be able to stop this time, man. Look at all those Marauders. Even against mutas, they're going to do fine. And here comes the rest of the army. Notice the Marines stay in the back to take care of Mutalists. The Marauders going to take everything else. And down goes the expansion.
And quite possibly down goes NesTea this game. I would expect to see GG in a minute here. The stim is coming in here. A multitude of Terran units just flooding in here. All the tech trays are coming up here. And that is, I think, going to be GG.
Yeah, that should end it. Here we go. The last final attack. The drones and mutas coming in. Just too many Marines. Even a Thor joining them now to just slice through those mutalisks. GG!
GG!
Boxer landing some mules. Wow. This kid, man, he is something else.
Did he actually land mules during that battle?
He did, right at the end.
Nope. I was checking our preview scheme real fast. I cannot believe that. Now, of course, landing mules in your opponent's base during a battle is a diss. So he is putting the heat, he's turning the heat up right now and saying, guess what? This is my house.
Yeah.
You cannot take that 87K from me, NesTea. NesTea losing to that rush the first game. The second game, I mean, it was back and forth, but damn, talking about a sick solid play coming from Boxer.
I do definitely want to talk about the second game there some. Lost Temple, it's a map, as we've said countless times. If the Terran player really wants to do a Thor drop or a tank drop and kill your hatchery, it's going to happen. You're going to lose it. It's just, how do you want to prepare for that? How do you prepare yourself for that? And NesTea actually prepared for it very poorly in the beginning there. We saw he lost some extra queens. He didn't counterattack at all. He really had nothing to hit Foxer with. But then he came back. I want to double underline this for everyone. NesTea actually came back from a ridiculous position.
That is very true, actually.
And killed a couple armies. Now, if he had actually hit the Marines with those Banelings that one battle,
that one attack
hit the Thor,
near the Zelnaga Tower, that would have changed everything.
He could have won the game because of that move. So basically, NesTea lost that game right off, fought his way back, and then re-lost it with a micromanagement error. So we saw a micro error from NesTea, which resulted in Foxer taking that win 100%, which is pretty exciting because this is not some sort of route. People might be like, this better not be a 4-0. Don't worry. NesTea's coming back.
I would be surprised if this was a 4-0, honestly.
Yeah.
I actually thought NesTea was going to win the first few games, particularly the one on Shakuras, but of course that rush denied that. Now, going into the third map here, which is Scrap Station, this is a map NesTea can pull back on. Now, we will probably go to a commercial break momentarily here, so that's going to give you guys a chance to go to the bathroom.
That's right. Refill your nachos.
That's right.
High five all your buddies.
Maybe get another beer, unless it's the morning and you're drinking, then then you're an alcoholic. That's kind of weird, but you just do whatever you gotta do. High level play. We know there's a drinking game for some of you guys who are watching, but don't go anywhere too far because you don't want to miss this series. Yeah. NesTea could come back.
By the way, Tasteless, there's a lot of parties going on. I read about one.
Yeah.
I wish I was there. Actually, I'd rather be here, but there's one in Toronto. A lot of people rented out a theater-type thing in Toronto.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So hi to you guys. Thanks for watching.
Cheers to all of the people around the world. We love esports. Artosis and I, both professional gamers ourselves. And we've been mostly for StarCraft 1, but now for StarCraft 2 here. And we love esports, just like everybody else at GOMTV. Let's take a look here at NesTea, man. You see that shot on our preview screen?
He's not happy with that.
He's not happy about that.
The thing is, there's so many things going through his head right now.
Right.
And I'm not sure if he really realizes that the reason he lost that game was Banelings hitting a Thor.
Right.
He may be thinking about 4 different things that happened in that game.
He might not have known how far ahead he got.
Yeah.
He might. If you lose your hatchery as Zerg at the start, you're like, wow, I am so behind.
You have the whole map, and you're like, no, he must have BCs. Like,
yeah.
there's something wrong here. But I don't know. He might be a little bit like, I'm getting owned. But actually, NesTea, calm down,
he was actually in the lead.
You actually could have won that game if you had microed your Banelings better. So I hope he cleans himself up because I said in the beginning I felt like Neste was going to take it 4-2 or 4-1. You better get cracking, Neste.
And now you look silly.
I look stupid, tasteless. Like, there's his Zerg bias. It's like, guys, no, he's just so good. Like, what do you want from me?
Again, thanks to our sponsors, Tony Erickson. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. Thank you, of course, everybody who's watching at home. We love esports. We love sharing this stuff with you. And thank you, Blizzard, for making a kick-ass game. Starcraft 2. It is so good.
It's the best game ever, man.
Best game ever made.
Forget Starcraft 1. What? That game is old. That game is
has
ugly.
bad graphics.
Yeah.
I love that game, too. But, yeah, seriously, Starcraft 2, such a good esport. Taken over here in Korea. And I think when our Korean commentators wrap it up, we're going to have a quick commercial break. So,
as we should, man. Neste needs to get his head back into the game.
That's right.
Somebody needs to go give him a little shoulder rub. I might run down there and give him a
little shoulder squeeze there.
Man.
Let him cool off.
I'd just be like, Kanchana, yo. Kanchana.
Kanchana.
Yeah.
That's what you got to say.
Yeah.
He is a very talented player. One of the older pro gamers out here.
Yeah, definitely.
I believe he's, if I'm mistaken, I believe he's 31.
No, I don't think so. I think he's 28. I could have sworn.
Could be Korean age. I'm thinking about. I'm not sure. But yeah. Of course, Boxer
a lot younger.
Considerably younger.
What is he, like 21 or 20?
I think he's 22. Well, I wish we had that on these stat sheets, but we don't. But there's roughly around that area.
Like he's a Sagittarius, though.
We'll be right back.